All right, everyone, we're going to go back on the record in 2022 CR 9807, State of Texas versus Vernon Dixon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar and Jason Garahan for the state.
Defense?
Adam LaHood and George Schaefer.
All right, and Mr. LaHood and Mr. Schaefer, it's the court's understanding that the defendant, again, does not wish to be present for this part of the hearing as well?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we're off the record. It's my understanding that the jury has a verdict again. Even though Mr. Dixon is not present, there is not to be any outbursts whatsoever. Does everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Let's.
Ready?
All right.
All right, everyone, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the court's understanding that you have reached a unanimous verdict in this phase of the trial. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, if you'll hand the verdict form to Deputy Mejia, please. Thank you. All right, the verdict form appears to be in proper order. To count one, it states that the jury is finding the habitual offender enhancement allegation to be true. They're assessing punishment at life. To count two, it states that the jury is finding the habitual offender enhancement allegation true. They're assessing punishment at 60 years in the prison. To count three, the jury is finding the habitual offender enhancement allegation true, and they're assessing the punishment to be at 60 years in the prison. Is there any request from either side to have the jury polled with regards to punishment? State? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of your service, but I'm going to have you all wait for me in the jury room and I come and speak with you briefly. And Deputy Mejia, the jurors who were separated can be reacquainted with all the jurors. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone, please be seated. Defense, what we will do then, if there are no objections from either side, the court reporter, myself, the state's attorney, and the defense attorneys, we will go into the back and I will pronounce sentence to your client. If you all can make sure that he's done the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
The judge, the state would be asking for a victim impact
by the family of the victim of Avante Boys.
All right. So the victim impact can be done. However, for security reasons, it's probably best that Mr. Dixon is not brought out, but they are more than welcome to get a victim impact statement.
Okay.
All right. And you may proceed with the victim impact if you would still wish to do it. Yes. And Diana, if you want to break down so we can get ready to go in the back.
Judge, can they stand?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Or would you like them to stay where they're?
They can stay there. They can come forward. I think there is security issues are not great. Okay.
I wrote this statement to let everyone know how the murder of my nephew has affected me and our family. He was 19 years old when his life was taken. Avante was a bright, kind, and loving young man who had a bright future ahead of him. Avante was always full of energy and laughter, and his smile lit up every room that he walked into. He was my sister's only son. He was my niece's only brother. He was the father of two beautiful boys, one on the way and the other one who he kept to him by his side. Since Avante's death, our family has been living a perpetual nightmare. My sister has trouble sleeping, eating, concentrating, and just getting along with the mundane task of everyday living. We all have nightmares and flashbacks of the day we went to the hospital to find out he was murdered. I walked into the room where he was being kept. I saw the tubes. I saw the blood stains. I saw the little boy who used to crawl into my lap and give me his toothy smile. But his smile was not there. It was gone. All our smiles have been gone since that day. My sister and my brother, Avante's mother and father, have been dealing with depression and post-traumatic stress disorder since this murder. She has been seeing a therapist to cope with her grief and trauma, but how can you alleviate that kind of pain? How can you fill a hole that can never be filled again? My family's lives have been shattered by this devastating loss. None of us will ever be the same. We will never see Avante smile again. We'll never hear his laughter again. We will never see him realize his promise or God's given purpose. Avante will always be in our hearts and our memories, and I love Avante. And this court has brought justice for our family, and I am so thankful for each and one of the jurors with their service. And I am so thankful and I appreciate you all working tirelessly. So that's all I want to say for now, because I'm getting a little bit of shakiness coming on. So that's all I want to say. Family, I love y'all, and justice has been served.
brother. March 31st, 2022 was the worst day of my life. My heart was broken. Looked everywhere, still in the sky. Still look for him. Yeah, hug you. Can't hear his voice. He won't come see me on my birthday like he normally does. Someone decided that he didn't deserve to be here in the land of the living, to be a father, a brother, a son, an uncle, a nephew. Someone decided that for me and a whole lot of other people. Who gets to decide this?
I want to thank God for allowing me to make it to this point, the DA and his staff, SAPD for their hard work, the judge and the jury, my family for being here. On March 31st, 2022, you killed my only biological child, my son, Avante Keyshawn Boyce. Then you ran like a coward. I tried my best to find you that night. I watched the whole entire family go in and out that apartment. I was waiting for you to come out. Then I remembered revenge belongs to God. Not saying that if I had seen you, you'd be alive today, but for that one moment, God saved lives. Because of your cowardly act, you've torn down my family. You've caused a divide with lifelong relationships. But most of all, you left my 3 grandchildren without their father. You will never understand the pain of telling the mother of your child that he is no longer here, that he didn't make it, or having a mini stroke due to anxiety and stress, having to plan the funeral of a child that you asked God for. I never had to question God's will, but on that day you caused me to do so. I'm learning to forgive those who had anything to do with this. It's taking much prayer. I have to forgive in order to make it to heaven. But Vernon Dixon, if by chance I don't make it to heaven, I want to meet you in hell and beat and inflict 1,000 times the pain my son felt on that day. So for now, you owe me a life, yours. Just know that I'm watching, and know that if by any chance parole is an option, I will be at every parole hearing. I will see fit that there is no way you will see freedom in San Antonio ever again. I don't want any apology letters from you. I want you to find God. So when they ship your cold body home in a cardboard box, at least you would have done something for society by leaving it forever. During this process, I found who I am. I had to handle this with grace. I even asked my son's friends not to avenge his death because I knew God had this handled. I had to walk with my head up and chest out, and I will do the same after this is over. But as for you, no matter where you go, any prison you ship to, you'll be known as a kid killer. So in closing, I suggest these 2 words, find God. And in the words of our great judge behind us, request a therapeutic community because you need it.
That is a judge.
All right, thank you.